Madam Speaker, this House is populated by members of Parliament. Members of Parliament who have a responsibility of lobbying and oversighting over the National Government Constituency Development Fund, which primarily, at the moment, is limited to the functions of education, functions of security infrastructure, and a bit of youth development through sports and some environment. The intent of this motion, Madam Speaker, is to persuade members of Parliament to see it fit to expand the mandate of the National Constituency Development Fund to accommodate some skill development and some tools facilitation for our young hustlers who are struggling when they step out of training, when they step out of apprenticeship, when they step out of TVETs. They are not able to go into the market because they are deficient in skills. They do not have the tools and equipment that are required. I am here standing and persuading my fellow members of Parliament to see it fit for us to expand the mandate of the National Constituency Development Fund to cover these areas. Madam Speaker, each one of us can tell you of a story from their constituency, of a great innovation, of a great skill, of a great talent, of a young person in their constituency, which, if was to be supported, would end up even going into the global stratosphere in terms of fame, because these skills exist in our country, Madam Speaker. Young people are talented. Young artists and artisans are doing wonders. But they've got a limitation on startup, Madam Speaker. They are not able to step out of college and go into praxis, Madam Speaker. So if we were able to expand the mandate of NGCDF to accommodate these artists by providing the necessary skills, by providing the necessary tools, we will be well on our way to equipping our young people to be fit for purpose for a time such as this. What time are we living in, Madam Speaker? We are living at a time where we are going into the technological world. We are going into the digital age. We are going into the age where each and every person shall be remunerated for the ideas that they bring forth. They shall be remunerated commensurate to the problems that they are solving. The bigger the problem you solve, the bigger the pay. To equip our people for such a time as this, I think it would be in order, Madam Speaker, for us to, as National Government Constituency Development Fund patrons, to expand the mandate to allow us to equip our young people, our young artists, our young artisans, to be able to live in this world. Madam Speaker, we have a new government. The head of state has made proclamations, and he has given a vision for this country. A vision that was enumerated when the head of state sat where you're sitting, stood up, and gave us his vision for this country, Madam Speaker. And among the many things that the head of state was saying are going to be key pointers in his government was the creative economy and the digital economy. Also important, Madam Speaker, the head of state told us that they are seeking to get this country to digitalize the operations of government, to automate the operations of government. Madam Speaker, who are the people who are going to be digitalizing operations? Who are the people who are going to be automating operations of government? If we are looking towards going into an e-government, Madam Speaker, who are the people who shall be doing this? It is our young people, Madam Speaker. And by equipping them with the skills and the tools, we are putting them well on their way to contribute in the development of this country as aligned to the Vision 2030, as aligned to the vision of the Kenya Kwanza government, as aligned to the bottom-up approach, where we shall have these artists and artisans developing and pulling themselves by their bootstraps from the bottom on their way up. Madam Speaker, Kenya is a net importer of commodities. Some of the commodities that land in this market, Madam Speaker, are not fit for our environment. They are not fit for our utility. Madam Speaker, the amount of plastic pollution in this country is choking. We are choking our soils, we are choking our rivers, and in the process, we are choking ourselves, Madam Speaker. If we were able to equip our young people to be the ones who are manufacturing toothbrushes, to be the ones that are manufacturing toothpicks, to be the ones that are manufacturing toilet paper and tissue paper and serviettes and many other small things that we use in this country that we do not need to import. Cups, plates, tiles, fittings for our houses, lampshades, bulbs. These are things that can be readily done in our counties, in our constituencies, if we were able to equip our young people with the skills necessary and the tools that they need for them to innovate and to develop. Madam Speaker, there had been a big drive by the deputy president then, who has now ascended to be president, to install TVETs in our constituencies. These TVETs are churning out graduates, Madam Speaker. These graduates find themselves like a deer in the headlights when they land in the market and they realize, yes, they have been equipped with some education, but they are not able to practice because they are limited in their skills and they are limited in the tools that they have. Madam Speaker, if we were able to expand the mandate of the NGCDF to cover skills training, to cover tools provision, then, Madam Speaker, we would be having a ready industry for these graduates coming out of TVET. Madam Speaker, some of the technology that we import is not fit for this country. It is technology that is developed, that is very region specific to the areas where this technology is developed. When it lands in Kenya, it has to be modified to be fit for purpose for this country. So, Madam Speaker, it is this time that we should now start developing appropriate technology for this country, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would want to urge members of parliament to see the import in us equipping our young people with the skills and the tools. And the Bible reminds us that when Moses was called, he said that he is not fit to lead the people. And Moses said, I am a stammerer. I am not able to speak. The good Lord asked Moses, what do you have in your hands? And he said, I have a rod. And he was told, take that rod and lead the people out of captivity into the promised land. Madam Speaker, for the people of parliament, the rod and the staff that they hold is the NGCDF. So even as we are urging government ministries, as we are urging for policy from the executive, we as members of parliament can take the first step in faith by using that which is in our control, that which is in our hands, to start walking towards a journey of equipping our young people with skills, equipping our young people with the tools that they require so that they can offer appropriate technology that is fit for a time such as this in the history of our country. Madam Speaker, we are speaking the future. We are calling ourselves to be alert that we are now in the fourth industrial revolution, Madam Speaker. And in this fourth industrial revolution, Madam Speaker, Africa can leapfrog to the front. We were borrowers of technology in the first industrial revolution. We were borrowers of technology in the second industrial revolution. We were borrowers of technology in the third industrial revolution. But in the fourth industrial revolution, Kenya is known to have invented financial technology that is globally acclaimed. We are the ones who invented M-Pesa, Madam Speaker. It is being heralded, it is being glorified as one of the finest inventions of our time, Madam Speaker. How about we develop more young people who can give us more M-Pesas, more young people who can give us innovation into the future? So, Madam Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to urge members of parliament to support this motion. And because time is up, Madam Speaker, I would like to request for guidance from you, because the Honorable Professor is ready to second this motion, and I will seek guidance from you, Madam Speaker, as to whether she will second it now or whether she will be seconding it in the afternoon. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much.